strapped out, man. Fuck that, man? Where my strap? Fuck that shit, man.
911, where's your emergency?
My house.
Okay, what's the emergency?
I just killed my mom and my sister.
You just killed your mother and your sister? How did you do that?
I shot him with a .22 revolver.
Are you sure they're dead?
Yes.
Okay, I want you to stay on the phone with me, okay? Are you all right?
Matches sauce like gas and grim reaper with a twitch on my finger and I pull up the trigger. Danger, danger, time for your ass to meet your maker, motherfucker. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. It was manned up for me to blast my pistols. Homie, you know the rules of the gang when you decided the gang bang.
In California, there are a group of toughs that calls themselves the 18th Street Gang. They say that the 18th Street Gang could be responsible for at least one robbery or assault every day in Los Angeles County. The 18th Street Gang is said to be one of the most fastest spreading gang in the country, with a stretch reaching across 32 states from Maryland to Hawaii. Even though they are not tightly connected, the gang could be the largest in California with at least 15,000 members and counting. The 18th Street Gang has reportedly been connected to homicides, extortion, drug trafficking, and even a few cases of infiltrating the U.S. military. There are several different types of 18th Street gangs, from Pico Union, the east area of the Staples Center. The 18th Street gang that is known the most are the three near downtown Los Angeles, west of the Staples Center, and one in the West Adams area. The section of gangs ranges anywhere from 50 to 100 members in any one set, which is dispersed throughout the county. The oldest barrio is located in the Pico Union, Grandview Hoover Clique, east of the Staples Center. Then slightly to the north you have the other two barrios, the Chateau Park and McCarthy Park, Columbia, Little Psychos Clique. But the most dangerous and notorious 18th Street gang neighborhood would be the West Adams, because some time ago, an 18th Street gang member by the name of Caterino Gonzalez was convicted of killing Los Angeles policeman Filbert Cuesta in 1998. And just almost recently, Jamil Shaw Jr. was also a victim of murder by an 18th Street gang member. This is the breakdown.
This shit ain't right. I think I'm sick in the mind, cause I'm evil all the time. Or maybe I'm corrupted, got up in the mix. Trying to make $1 out of 18 cents. It makes no sense.
Pedro, at only 16, had already had an outstanding juvenile record, including one incident he had with a man named Samuel Durant. One day, Pedro confronted Samuel at a park with a gun and was caught. After running away by the LAPD, a .380 semi-automatic weapon that was recovered by the Los Angeles Police Department. He spent several months in the county jail for that. He went in 2007 and got out March the 1st, 2008, a day before the murder of Jamil Shaw. Jamil Shaw was just 17 years old. It was 2008, March the 2nd. Pedro Darky Espinoza had just gotten out of jail 12 or so hours ago. Jamil Shaw was coming home from his friend's house with a red Spider-Man backpack attached to his shoulders. In court, Pedro said because of the red backpack, he had thought he was a member of the Rolling 20s, a rival Bloods gang. So as Jamal approached his home, he noticed Pedro, aka Darky, and as they got closer, family members said Jamil Shaw tried to walk around Pedro, Instead, Pedro must have lost it because he seen a red backpack, assuming he was a rival gang member. He put out a semi-automatic weapon,
Pointed the gun at Jamil and shot him once in the stomach.
seeing that Jamal was still moving and trying to get away.
That's when Pedro then walked over to Jamil and shot him point blank range in the head.
Execution style. A family member by the name of Rose said he imagined Shaw's last emotions were fear and sheer confusion as to why this was happening. The boy's mother was serving in Iraq when she was told of the news. During the trial, Deputy District Attorney Alan Ostrowski told the jury that Pedro chose to kill a 17-year-old because of the color of his skin and the color of his backpack, reiterating that this murder was cold-blooded and was a calculated execution. Jamal Shaw II was a prowess running back for his high school football team when he was gunned down in March of 2008. Officer Ruben Gonzalez testified that the victim was in possession of gang photos and graffiti, including his moniker, when he was shot and killed. Another cousin, Pablo Espinoza, told investigators back in 2008 that Pedro bragged about killing the blood, and according to LAPD Detective John Shafia, Pedro admitted to his cousin Pablo that he had shot and killed the blood before. JVR Espinoza, the cousin to the defendant and an alleged member of the Al-Qaeda clique of 18th Street, testified that he went to Los Angeles High School with the victim and that everyone knew that Jamal was a blood.
Do you recognize Pedro Espinoza, the individual at the end of council table in the orange?
Yes, sir.
He's your cousin?
Yes, sir.
What game did you play?
I'm bank, sir.
Aren't you a member of 18th Street?
Who said this, sir?
What's your crew?
Oh, that was like back in the day, like way before. I used to do some call ALS.
What does ALS stand for?
I forgot, sir.
Doesn't it stand for Al Sates, the
No.
clique of 18th Street?
No, sir.
Do you know if your cousin Pedro's in the gang?
Yes, sir.
What gang is he in?
8th Street.
The area where you and your brother Pablo live, is that an area where there's a lot of 18th Street gang members?
You could say that, sir. Yes, sir, but can I say something? Oh, let's just keep it.
You're doing fine. That night, when Pedro came to talk to you, did he mention anything about a football player?
No, sir.
Did he mention anything about what was on the news?
No, sir.
When you talked to the police, did you tell them, in fact, that Pedro talked to you that night, March the 2nd, about a football player that was killed, as shown on the news?
No, sir.
In fact, did you tell the detectives that Pedro told you that night that he did it?
I did say that, sir, but I did it for a reason.
But you did say that.
I did say that. But not literally because of the news thing. Nah, I said it because they were threatening me. They were threatening me, talking about it. That I killed a person, that I was involved with it, and that I was going to face like 20 plus years in the feds in the state penitentiary.
Who told you that?
Detective Carrillo.
Didn't you actually say to the detective, this is page 24, starting at line 9 of your interview, that he told me he did it, I saw it on TV. Didn't you make that statement?
Is it? I had made that up, sir.
Just out of thin air?
Yeah, because I had heard that the kid, the football player, was he belonged to a gang. He belonged to a blood gang. I don't know if it was Rolling 20 or others, like, you know how they got different gangs, blood gangs.
So all you knew was that the victim belonged to a blood gang.
Yes, sir.
But somehow during the interview, you told the detective that the victim was from Rolling 20.
Yeah, because I had heard from other students. I used to go to LA High. And everybody knew that he banged. Everybody knew it was blood.
Did you know who the victim was personally?
No, sir, but I used to see him around school.
And a moment ago, you said that all you knew was the victim was the blood, but then you told the detectives he was from Rolling 20s. Isn't that because that's what Pedro told you?
No, sir.
Didn't Pedro use the term for a 20s gang member called a Twinkie?
I said that, sir.
Well, what does that mean?
There's like another person saying Rolling 20s. It's like, how should I say? I don't know how to say it.
Try your best. You're a student. Who called Rolling 20s Twinkies?
I call them. I call them. Everybody calls them.
18th Street gang members call them Twinkies?
Everybody does.
Didn't you tell the police that Pedro told you, I killed the Twinkie that night when you were watching it on the news?
I did tell the police, but I never told them. I seen it on TV. That was all a lie. That was just like a story I made up.
There's a judgment. You're going to have to stand before God and state why you killed my son. Why you think you're big enough to be God to take someone else's life. Because no one has that right. No one at all has the right to play the role as God. When my son was murdered, I was in Iraq, my second tour. The commander had called me into the office and he told me, he said, Sergeant Shaw, your son, he said his name wrong, Jamal, has been murdered. And I lost it. And I don't understand why. I still don't understand why.
In a packed, highly secured courtroom in downtown L.A., a 23-year-old gang member and convicted killer is waiting to hear whether a judge will follow the jury's recommendation and sentence him to death. Pedro Espinoza has been convicted of the execution-style killing of high school football star Jamil Shaw Jr. Evidence shows in March of 2008, Espinoza shot and killed Shaw near the athlete's Arlington Heights home. Espinoza, an illegal immigrant and 18th Street gang member, mistook Shaw for a Bloods gang member, a rival gang, because of his red-colored Spider-Man backpack. Evidence shows Espinoza jumped out of a car and shot Jamil Shaw in the stomach. As the 17-year-old was helpless and seriously injured, Espinoza walked around and fired a second bullet into the football player's head. Prosecutors say Shaw was a good kid in the wrong place at the wrong time. He was a student at Los Angeles High School. His family members continue to wear red to court in protest of Espinoza. This morning, his defense attorney made a motion for a new trial, claiming there were biased jurors and that he himself made critical mistakes in court. However, the judge didn't buy it and denied the motion.
Mr. Coffey, it's not uncommon for attorneys to attempt to fall on their own sword to save a client's life. I appreciate that fact.
He appreciates that fact, but motion denied. Now,
Join me next time on The Breakdown. But don't forget to leave your comments.
What?